What up, 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 what up? Here we go, here we go. We are back again, back on for another weekly book review. This week's book is The 10X Rule by the very, very well-known, popular guy, Mr. Grant Cardone himself. You know, what made me pick this book is the fact that I've been going to so many different networking events. I've been a vendor at so many different events at this point, and his name continuously comes up, and it's amazing to me how many opinions there are about him, how many people there's a lot of folks that don't like him, there's a lot of folks that do like him. There's one girl that I've met, she doesn't like him, but she still bought into his system because it's making her money and it works for her. So it really kind of inspired me to go back in the book and read some of his points and get it, because there's a ton of more networking events I have to go to. First of all, shout out to the new followers I have, man. It's been one incredible month. It's been an incredible few weeks of months. Ever since the book has come out, things have just been moving and moving and moving. And I promise you I will get back to everyone. I'm gonna spend some time every day, hopefully a little more time once I get some time every morning, making sure I'm responding to all the emails, following up with all the cards, so many things. And that's another reason why this book was so important, because the 10X rule, you know, what he teaches in the 10X rule, just to give a definition, he gives a definition of the 10X rule on page 2. What is the 10X rule? He has a chapter titled, What is the 10X rule? That's the first chapter. And page 2, it says, to look back over my life, I see that the one thing that was most consistent with any success I've achieved was that I always put forth 10 times the amount of activity that others did. So what made him successful was the fact that he was 10 times, doing things 10 times more than everybody else, making 10 times more phone calls, making 10 times more, whatever it is, visits, 10 times more emails, whatever it is, however your process is to reach out to people, you got to do 10 times that, 10 times that. You know, one of the biggest criticisms of him is the fact that he's really aggressive. He's like the sales guru. And that, I mean, what I love, there's another part of this book that I really, yes, here it is. Page 9. He says it bluntly, he's an incredibly aggressive guy. He also has a book titled, If You're Not First, You're Last. So he's incredibly aggressive, and I love it. I love it. So page 9, he says, why spend your life making only enough money to end up with enough money? Why work out at the gym only once a week just to get sore and never see a change in your body type? Why get merely good at something when you know the marketplace only rewards excellence? Why work 8 hours a day at a job when no one recognizes you, when you could be a superstar and perhaps even run your own place? All of these examples require energy. Only your 10x target really pay off. He said it plain and simple, guys. Whatever you're doing, you got to be doing 10 times that. It is such a grind, and probably my favorite story in the entire book was page 129. Yes, page 129, I believe it, yes, page 129. He titled this chapter because what happens in a lot of situations when we get told that we need to work harder, or that we told that we need to be the superstar, when we told that, look, you got to be the guy. You got to be the guy to go out and sell it. Like I just left a networking event. Shout out to Sabrina, and she runs an organization named BUN, B-U-N, Building Us Network. And what was said in that room, what was said in that event, or things that I wouldn't be doing it justice by trying to repeat it myself. But the main thing was building us. It's talking about us as minorities, us as people that don't have the connections, us as people that didn't inherit generational wealth. And when we want to get in business, when we want to figure out, when those kind of, I don't want to use the word black and white. I want to use the ones that don't have the wealth that was inherited to them, that they don't have a trust fund that they can go to, shit like that. You have to go out and sell your shit yourself. And when you have that energy, that is what I'm talking about. You got to be a superstar in your business. It doesn't matter what you do. You got to be the superstar. In fact, I'll give you an example. Just yesterday, I was in St. Petersburg. I did a table of shout out to Alyssa and the Vital Vibes crew. Thank you for having me. Looking forward to following up with you and doing some work with you and all that. But I was there and I was by myself, setting up a table, doing my thing. Had a table set up, doing my thing, but it was outside, and my banner kept blowing away. It was frustrating to me. However, what I did is I found a recycle bin. I found a recycle bin and I put it on the back. I had the thing stick up. I put the recycle bin on the back, so I made sure the banner wouldn't fly off because of the wind and all that. And that's what I mean. You gotta figure it out every single moment. You have to be ready to speak at every single moment. Just now, I spoke at this event that I was at, and I wasn't prepared to speak. But hey, I gave a speech and I just did whatever it is I had to do. And I wasn't the only one. There were tons of people, tons of ladies, specifically ladies that got up there, got out over their fear of public speaking right off the bat, because when you recognize you got to be your brand, you got to be the person to go out and sell it, nothing gets in your way. Absolutely nothing gets in your way. So back, my bad. I know I get going. And again, shout out to, I'll talk about the end. As far as the 10X rule, the book review for today, page 129. Chapter 18, it says, criticism is a sign of success. I'm gonna make sure you guys get that. Take a good look at it. Criticism is a sign of success. Criticism is a sign of success, meaning so many folks out there who get into business or who don't get into business don't do it because they're afraid of being criticized. They're afraid of people saying, that guy's too cocky, that guy or girl's too cocky, I don't really know anybody, or what are my friends gonna say, what is my family gonna think, all this other bullshit, all these other excuses that you use. Criticism, when you are starting to get criticized for your work, that means you're on the cusp of success. You're right at the tipping point. Like, one of my favorite authors actually is Malcolm Gladwell, and he wrote a book called The Tipping Point. You're right at that point where you're going to be successful when you start feeling that criticism. And he tells a story. I did an entire podcast episode on this very story. It's page 131. He said, I then rewarded my staff member for aggressively following up with the client. Receiving complaints about too much follow-up is an indication that my staff is moving in the right direction. Mic drop, mic drop, mic drop, mic drop. You want to make the big bucks, you can't be afraid of being criticized. And if you want people to have the passion, like if you're if you're an entrepreneur that's reading this, if you're someone that's trying to build your own brand and you're trying to create something that has employees and has a staff and manage all that stuff, you got to do exactly what he said and reward aggressive behavior. Reward and look for the people that have been bitch slapped in life, for lack of a better word, that have been bullied in life, because they're not going to care what anyone else thinks. They're only going to care about contracts being signed and money being spent. And that is what I just felt. If I sound like I'm very passionate right now, it's because I just left an event that has my chest poking out still, and I'm still kind of wired from that. So again, as far as me, I appreciate everyone that has already been on the show. The Move Swiftly podcast is going to be coming back in a few weeks. I'm thinking starting of September, as football season gets rolling around. I'm a former football guy. There's a lot of events, a lot of opportunities. Things are opening back up. So I'm going to be releasing new episodes around September time. So be on the lookout for that. Please hit me up if you know of anybody. I've added a new tab on makingmove.com where you guys can book me as a speaker, tell me about your new events. I'm developing as a keynote speaker now. I have everything ready to roll. Everything is in place, and it's peaking at the right time. And it wouldn't happen if it wasn't for your support, wasn't for all the people that knew me back when I was working at Orange Stereo, when I first got out to Florida. Even before I got to Florida, there was tons of things I was trying, and tons of you guys who are watching now that knew me as just that guy that is always trying. Every time someone asks me, who is Aswand? Aswand is always trying. That's who he is, point blank, period. Who am I? I'm always trying, always in something new. So I appreciate the support. Just stay up with me and keep up with me for more information. Again, I don't want to keep you. I might as well stop saying that. I don't want to keep you on here for too long because I get so passionate and man, I could talk a lot. I could talk a lot. I'm developing, man. I'm developing. You guys are seeing someone that is growing in ways. It's like J. Cole said, and though I've grown in ways that you've never known, I ventured into the world. I moved out all on my own. Ooh! All right. I'll shut up now. Anyway, again, this week's book review, The 10X Rule by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Grant Cardone. Everybody, continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.